Welcome back, guys. CryptoRose here. Today we are going right into Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin and the US dollar I have pulled up here. Interesting week it's been for Bitcoin as usual, guys. What can we expect going into this month of May? Let's get right into it. So we've been on a downtrend, from Bitcoin price has been dropping since April. Guys, we did see, at the start of the year where Bitcoin tried to, reach, we saw the beginning of January, we saw Bitcoin try to go up and, reach that height again that we saw back in last October, almost at 79,000, 70,000. But we were not able to, we, hit a very, very, very strong seller's month. You guys can see here, no bottom wick, a little bit of top, big red body, long, a lot of selling pressure. Okay, we're right back into this month, guys, barely into this month. First week, we already have it to where, price opened up at around 37,641. Buyers were only able to push it up to about 40,000, and we've been in a seller market ever since, guys. And the interesting thing about where we are right now is that we're pretty close to where we were last year, and the market will do what it has done in the past. That's one thing that we know. And for most people who can look at this chart and look at where Bitcoin is at, everybody's expecting for Bitcoin to just take off from here. That's a lot of people are saying 35,217, they're expecting for it to take off. Why? Because if we go back here, guys, or what I have highlighted, that's kind of what happened. But we're gonna go right into why. It will do a couple of more things before I feel like Bitcoin will take back off and hopefully try to reach a new high past that 70,000 mark that we saw last year. So the interesting thing is that if we go back in time, guys, and we look at the candle for May, I'm on the monthly. This is a candlestick chart, guys. We can see that after a doji, we even with this doji, which is very indecisive, we saw this going to be a turning point just with even this 3 candlestick pattern right here. But we saw a lot of it was very volatile. We saw a height of even though the market was very indecisive that month, guys, before we began that downtrend back down, we saw it reach the height of about 64,900, about 65,000, all the way to as low as 46,000. That's a huge range for 1 month. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Okay, then we saw May, guys. May of last year, we saw a height of that we saw Bitcoin reach a height of 59,700, almost $800, guys, and then reach also a low of 30,000, guys. That is a huge range. Okay, almost 60,000 to 30,000. You mean to tell me that if you bought Bitcoin when it was at 30,000, you bought it 50% off, they were still able to see? And that's essentially where I think we have the opportunity. We're going into one of those opportunities in Bitcoin where we're able to get it almost 50% off, guys. It's what I'm going to go into. Okay, everybody's hesitant right here. Buy. But I'm going to say sell the position I'm in. Why? Because even though this was a place that Bitcoin ultimately closed, we saw this month of June reach a low of, all the way down to about 28,000, guys. All right, you see that 28,000? And I'm going to mark that area because you guys can see here. All right, this was a recent, strong, support resistance that we did see price. It didn't reverse, but it did push through here. But we can see here that this was also a price where we saw a price reverse before we saw that huge upside before we saw before it reached a new high. So let me bring it into a little bit no indicators, never perspective, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this line chart. I'm gonna show you essentially what people are seeing. So we're gonna look, okay, so it's this top here, ultimately back on the run again. And that's exactly what people are expecting. But what I'm telling you guys is that, I believe that Bitcoin is going to reach down to this 33,000 for this month, and we're going to see it pull all the way down. We're going to see it pull, it's going to reach this 32,000. But where we're going to say is like, when is a good time to start buying Bitcoin? When is Bitcoin going to go back around, hit a reverse? We're going to see Bitcoin, go back up to that pricing. I'm going to say about 32,000, guys, 32,000, about 500, all the way down to about, 31,000. That's a good place to get back in. It's a very, very good, safe place to to get back in. All right, now we're gonna move to the weekly, and I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something on the weekly. Okay, so we had a week back in of last year of July, and we also had another one in January. These were very, very important weeks. Why? Because these were the mark of very, very what we call big impulsive moves, guys, where we saw that first high. That first high came from price, hitting that reverse around that 31,000 mark, okay? Guys, then we saw that next big move, and that, although we did have a little bit of retracement there going into it, guys, that was still a really, really, really big move that we saw coming from this 30,000 this range that I have here as a good buy range again. Okay, and that's really why I have that here. And you guys see that this line chart is going to show you guys the closing. Obviously, you guys can see on the candle, you can see the wicks. Like, we went down even further, guys. But like I said, this is a good place. If you want to play safe and you want to get into, if you want to get in, this is a good place to get in. Okay, this range right here between 32,000, about 500, and between 31,000. Okay, now look at all these wicks down here, guys. I want you guys to see all these wicks. These are places where one second, these are places where price did go. Okay, let me get the highlighter on. All right, let's put the highlighter on. These are places where price did go, guys. So how possible is it for Bitcoin to drop all the way down to 30,000, guys? This same place that I said is where we seen it come price getting to here, and this is where we saw our biggest moves to the upside. How likely is it, guys? It's very likely. Okay, you guys can see all these wicks that we have down here. Is very, very likely, but that's what I'm saying, is that the base plays that you want to get into is right here to play it safe. Bitcoin can move that much in a day. So if you're not paying attention, you could miss it. You could miss the opportunity. Okay, so this is the area that we saw for people to get in, and price moved away from. And I don't know why I chose the highlighter, guys. Let me get you guys on a. This was the place that actually. This right here was the place that if you were to get in with Bitcoin for this time, you were getting it 50% off. All right, guys, and that's this 31,000 between this 29,000. That's the place that if you can get in for Bitcoin right there. Again, you guys, price is gonna go, we're gonna see a lot of areas where price is gonna struggle right here. Price is gonna get to its infamous 41,000 area, and it's going to struggle. It's going to struggle again in this 43, 46 area, and it's going to struggle again in this 53,000 area, and it's going to get all the way back up here 60,000. And before you know it, guys, you realize that you bought Bitcoin 50% off. If you did buy one Bitcoin, it will have been doubled by then, and that is very profitable opportunity that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so how likely is it that we can get Bitcoin even cheaper, meaning that Bitcoin drops down even further than 30,000, guys? How possible? Well, let's take a look here. Okay, if you guys look just a little bit closer, you can see a lot of wicks came down here. You guys can see that a lot of the candles are closed up top around this range that I said was a good buying area, but we can still see that a lot of wicks came down here, guys. It's very possible. If Bitcoin passes this 30,000, when it goes down to this $29,000, guys, well, that's just another price area that we're gonna have to return, because it could be a scary time for Bitcoin. That means that it has a possibility of going all the way back down as low as the days that we saw before Bitcoin took off, guys. Yes, that is very, 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 very possible. And we won't go there as far back until that time comes. But we could see Bitcoin go back into the 20s, guys. We could see it drop all the way back down into these 20s, 24,000. But is it, how likely is it? I think that it's more likely for price to do what we're talking about price doing up here, and that's price returning to this area, this good buy area, and ultimately reversing. That's price dropping all the way down from this 35,000 all the way down to this 32,000 area, and looking at a good 33,000 really. Looking into a good place to buy, guys. Ultimately, not letting it, get down to 30,000 before we get into there. But you're really taking the risk there. But it's also a good place to see, where Bitcoin is going to be at that time. Will we continue to fall, down here, and ultimately go back, or would this be the opportunity that we're all waiting for again, that if you're not ready you might miss, and that's for Bitcoin to go down to this 30, go back up, spend a nice little time going back up, and before we know it, guys, we have doubled our profits. All right, guys, so that is my monthly analysis for Bitcoin. I think that we are back into an opportunity that you could either be ready for, or you could slowly watch and miss it, guys. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and till next time.